Hi everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. I just wanted to do a little something different than we normally do. It's going to be probably a long video, but it's going to be very full of information and things that you can do and help yourself and all that. So a lot of you have been commenting on my weight loss, and I really appreciate it, you guys. It's been a tough road, but we finally found out what was wrong with me after about probably 20 years of me being in pain management and not being able to walk. I was in so much pain. Towards the end, I was just done. If the doctor didn't find out what was wrong, I was done. I was in so much pain. So just by chance on Facebook, I saw an ad for this doctor, and I thought, this is my last chance. I've got to do it. So I contacted him. His name is Dr. Adam Lerner, and he's not where I live, so we did everything over Zoom. It is so easy. It's easy to get in contact with him. It's easy to get in contact with anyone in his office. They respond immediately. Any questions you have, he responds immediately. It's really worth this. If you're not feeling well, I'm going to explain everything that went on with me and what I was feeling and what they found, and you will be pretty surprised on what they found going on in my body. You know, I've been taking pain meds for years, just trying to make it through life, and I find a lot of people are doing that, and you know, we can't get the pain meds that we need because they were abused at some point. So we're just kind of putting up with half doses of pain medicine so you don't get addicted, and in the meantime you're just trying to make it through every day of your life. So I'm going to get started, and like I said, it's going to be a long video, so just stick with me because it's going to be so worth it, you guys. I do have to start out by saying that I did do all of the supplements he recommended through his company. Now, nothing is pushed on you. You do not have to take anything you don't want to take. You don't have to buy anything. It's never pushed. They just recommend, and they explain to you what the medicine does and how it'll help you, okay? Now, there are some restrictions on this diet. Don't get scared. I just want to start out by saying that the food on this diet is phenomenal. It's not even a diet because you're not really counting calories. You're just going to change the way you eat, and it was so easy, and I'm craving that right now. We just got through the holidays, and with all the food and stuff, I wasn't eating the organic and all that. I was just eating regular food, and I'll tell you what, my body feels it. I keep telling Jack, I got to get back on this organic. I can't move, and I am really hurting. So I'm going to get started and just kind of go over what we have here. So how it starts out is Dr. Lerner will send you a form to get blood work. Now, he charges for the blood work, but he pays where you get the blood work done. So there's no money transfer for the blood work. You pay him, and it goes through a place where you live, okay? It was expensive, I'm not going to lie, and it's not covered by insurance. Mine wasn't. Maybe you can get this covered some way, I don't know. But all of my supplements and all of my blood work and everything throughout the year was not covered by insurance. It is expensive, I'm not going to lie, but in the long run, I feel so much better that the money didn't mean anything to me at this point, okay? So he started out by getting these blood tests done, and they're very in-depth. They also do a bowel collection, and you do that over like a certain period of time. They give you all the instructions. It's easy, and it's kind of gross, but I'll tell you what, guys, to know what's wrong with you, it's worth it. Okay, so in my upper GI, my whole GI tract, I was having problems with severe stomach pain for about 20 years. And they found a bleeding ulcer, so they all thought it was that. And the pain never went away. And if I ate, my stomach would bloat to the point of looking like I was pregnant, and it would be hard as a rock, and the pain was excruciating. So this is part of that problem, okay? So in my GI, I had H. pylori. I'm just going to give you a little synopsis of each thing. I know it's going to be a little long, but it's going to be worth it. So H. pylori symptoms What it is, it's a gram-negative bacterium that's found in the stomach. It plays an important role in the ecology of the stomach. The infected suffer from chronic gastritis or gastric ulcers, and they were believed to be due to microbial causes. It's linked to stomach cancer and duodenal ulcers. 80% of the people are asymptomatic, which is great. So that's that. Now that explains all the stomach issues I was having, the bloating, all that. The next thing I have is yeast overgrowth, okay? So the yeast overgrowth just took over my stomach, and it just kept multiplying, and I couldn't get rid of it. That's part of the bloating and all that, stomach issues and pain. The next thing was dysbiosis, okay? Now, on dysbiosis, it is it involves the loss of a beneficial microbial input or signal and expansion of pathogenic microbes. It's thought to trigger pro-inflammatory effects and immune dysregulation associated with various diseases, including non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, okay? So what it does is it may have mild effects like cramps, diarrhea, and constipation, but it might get worse than that and more involved. So you've got to get it treated. Now all this pain that I'm feeling that I was telling you about, a lot of it is from that yeast overgrowth, okay? So the next thing is significant GI inflammation. So let's go on to that.
That GI inflammation was caused by both the bacterial infection and the yeast infection. The combination and the byproduct of that is inflammation. So your whole GI tract, upper and lower,
the intestines,
is inflamed, and basically saying, I can't deal with anything else, I've got to deal with this yeast. And the more it fights, the worse the infection got, the more the inflammation. Her inflammation levels were so high that the doctor was quite shocked with it.
He really couldn't understand, that I was moving because the inflammation was so much and so painful. And that's what I was saying. I just couldn't go on anymore. It was just too much. Come sit over here with me, Jack, and Jack's been through this whole thing with me. We've been together for 38 years, married for 34. And so he's been through it with me, believe me. He's been through all my complaining and all that. So I do want to start by saying to you guys too, that when I was 28, I had a total hysterectomy due to endometriosis. And that put me into early menopause, so they put me on Premarin. I was on Premarin for over 20 years, which is very dangerous. So in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking maybe that started all of these problems that I was having. So keep that in the back of your mind too, okay? So now the next thing it says is that my blood sugar was consistent with diabetes, type 2, okay? It was very high. Now I do want to tell you that I started this in May, and May, June, July, August, 5 months later, I was not diabetic at all. I'm getting more blood work in the next week. I'll come back and let you know what it was. So all my levels right now are perfect, okay? So, and now the third one is just inflammation, whole body inflammation. So just think about all that inflammation in your gut, and then throughout your blood cells. All the inflammation was in my blood cells going through my body. That's why everything was stiff and hurt to walk or move or eat or anything. So now number 4 is high homocysteine, okay? Homocysteine is an amino acid produced when proteins are broken down. A high homocysteine level, also called homocysteinemia, can contribute to arterial damage, blood clots in your blood vessels. It usually indicates a deficiency in vitamin B12 or folate. Okay, so I have been told for years about my vitamin B12. I am on a ton of vitamins anyways, but I've always given myself a vitamin B shot to increase that vitamin because I just could not get enough by taking it in through the mouth. I had to give myself shots for that for years, just trying to get that level up.
About 10 years ago, they stopped her on that, which I personally think was a big mistake.
So now let's go through some of the symptoms of the homocysteine. Pale skin. The vitamin B12 deficiencies include pale skin, weakness, fatigue, tingling sensations like pins and needles in the hands, arms, legs, and feet. I had it horrible in my hands. I couldn't feel anything. I'd pick stuff up and couldn't feel that I was holding it because it felt like it was asleep all the time.
She dropped things so often it was ridiculous.
Dizziness. I broke my ankle in 3 places because I fell because I was dizzy and just dropped to the floor. Mouth sores, I get them all the time. And mood changes, they were horrendous. I felt it myself like I was nasty. Totally not me at all.
Yeah, the garage was my friend.
Symptoms of the folate deficiency are often subtle and similar to the B12. That's fatigue, mouth sores, tongue swelling, and growth problems. Okay?
That's why she's short.
Pale or yellowish skin, personality changes, again, shortness of breath or dizziness, irregular heartbeat. I was having the irregular heartbeat where I would feel it pump and then totally stop and start back up. Went to the doctor, they couldn't find anything. They did EKGs, they did all kinds of stuff, couldn't find anything, but I kept passing out every time I stood up.
Wired her for sound for 2 days. She walked around with a battery pack and a monitor on. No issues. They couldn't find anything.
No. Mental confusion or forgetfulness. This was a big one for me. I'm pretty quick thinking person. Very good with words and math and remembering, dates and things like that. I thought I was getting Alzheimer's because Jack would tell me something and I'd be like, what did you say again? Immediately after, I could not get it into my brain to comprehend it. It was very scary. Weight loss. Now that didn't happen to me. Mine was the opposite. Okay? So the causes of the homocysteine levels is low thyroid hormones, which I have very low thyroid. Psoriasis, I don't have. Kidney disease, I was on the verge of kidney disease with the diabetes. Certain medications and genetics. Now, not everyone's going to have all of these symptoms. And I don't want to scare you guys. I just want to give you enough information to maybe sit back and think, my God, maybe this could be me. Maybe I should try this. It doesn't hurt to try. Like I said, you don't even need to get on the supplements. If you just want to try the diet, I'm going to give you everything you need to know for the diet. A lot of the recipes I've made, and I just keep making them because I love them. But the ones that I haven't made, I will just put at the end of our video when we're done with the series. And you guys can try them, and then you can comment below and let me know how you liked it or what you would change on the diet. And that would help a lot of other people too, who don't like certain tastes and things like that. So let's continue going on, okay? So with that homocysteine, you also get osteoporosis or bone thinning. That's a big one for me. Buildup of fats and other substances in the arterial walls, blood clots in the veins, heart attack, coronary artery disease, stroke. I had a stroke about, 15 years ago?
About 10.
10 years ago, and I knew something happened. I was driving, and I had to pull over. I got violently sick. It looked like the horizon was kind of moving, shifting, and I pulled into a driveway and sat there for over an hour. I couldn't think, I couldn't move, I just was sick. So then I kind of felt like I was going crazy because it happened so fast and then it didn't happen again. So I went to the doctor and I said, look, I feel like something's wrong with my brain, something's going on, I just know something's not right. They did a CAT scan and found that I had a stroke. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease. That's a big one because we have that runs in our family, okay? So this can all be shown through your blood tests, all right? So let's move on to the next thing. So now we have low DHE. And let me see, I think I might have screwed this up a little bit, guys. What is this one? Estrogen dominance. Okay, let's just move on to estrogen dominance. Okay. So, estrogen dominance, mood swings, irritability. You notice your PMS comes with a vengeance and results in heavy periods. Now, this is hard for me because, like I said, I had a hysterectomy, but my periods when I was 13 to when I had my hysterectomy, they were so heavy and they lasted over 10 days, heavy the whole time. And I did not know that that was not normal until very late in my 20s, because I just thought that was, each girl or woman is different. They are, but that's not normal. Heavy, heavy, heavy periods are not normal for 10 days. When I was younger, I was very, very, very thin, and I would have my periods for 10 days, and my anemia would be horrible. I couldn't walk. I was just pale, tired.
It looked like she needed a transfusion.
Yeah, I was very, very pale, had dark rings under my eyes. That's all from losing so much blood. So I'm just going to kind of go through this really, really quick. It says that the dominance can also be an expected part of a woman's transition into menopause. Now, I didn't go through normal menopause, so I can't speak on that. I did go through menopause with the hormonal pills, but I did have horrible symptoms of hot flashes, not being able to sleep. I would only get about 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night on a good night, and nobody seemed like worried about it. The doctors, I'm telling them I'm so tired, I don't know what's going on, they just blow me off, okay? So theoretically, estrogen dominance can occur, but it's not as simple as saying this patient is experiencing these symptoms from the estrogen dominance, which means it's not just hormonal, okay? Estrogen levels are higher relative to progesterone. It doesn't always mean the body has high levels of estrogen. It's an imbalance between the sex hormones estrogen and progesterone. So, what do the hormones do in the body? They help in metabolism and digestion, sex drive and reproductive health, menstrual cycles and PMS, and hormonal transitions like premenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Now, that's the thing that's kind of bothering me nowadays, is when you're going through the premenopause and menopause and all that, you know, no doctor listens to the woman. It's always, you know, this is the way it's going to be, all women have done this for years, and I'm thinking if men had to go through this, there'd be a cure for it a long time ago, because going through menopause, Matt, is the worst thing known to a woman. I mean, there's so many symptoms, you feel horrible, and you're just sweating all the time. Now,
physically hot to the touch. I mean, like, you go, holy crap.
Yeah, and when I had told Dr. Lerner about, you'll see in our earlier videos that my face is always red because I was so hot just from all this going on in my body trying to fight all this, all the yeast, everything, and they're just telling me it was, you know, with menopause and all this and that, and
it'll pass.
It'll pass, and I had it for over 20 years. That, I mean, and I never would sweat. The only place I would sweat when I was younger is just my top lip. This was just drenched in sweat. So if you're having that, kind of put that in the back of your mind, okay? So now let's go on to low DHEA. DHEA is short for dihydropiandrosterone, a hormone that your adrenal gland produces and secretes. The adrenal glands are small organs that are located above your kidneys, the main function of which is to manage the release of hormones that in turn affect a variety of vital functions in the body. A normal daily range of DHEA in women run around 25 milligrams. When your body does not produce enough DHEA as you get older, you might suffer from unpleasant symptoms, loss of energy, sexual symptoms, all kinds of things. And that's the thing, I think that the reason doctors weren't listening to me was because they were putting it with the menopause or all that. They weren't going deeper, and this is just saying, don't just settle for them telling you it's your hormones. Do more in-depth.
You know your body better than the doctor does.
Do a more in-depth physical with another doctor. Find a doctor that will listen to you. Even if you just want to talk to Dr. Lerner and pick his brain, he's more than willing to talk to you and help you. I will give you all his information at the end of the series, and you can email them and they get back to you immediately. And he will let you know if he feels that his program will help you. Now, he doesn't take everybody. If he thinks it's just like menopause and you don't have any of the other symptoms that we're talking about here, he might not take you, but he will recommend something to help you, okay? So just keep that in your pocket. All right, so now dysfunctional cortisol rhythm. Okay, the cortisol has a variety of effects in different functions throughout the body. It's the main glucocorticoid release from the zonal fasciculata layer of the adrenal cortex. Blah.
Big word.
It's a pituitary, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis regulates both production and secretion of cortisol. Loss can lead to cortisol excess disorders such as Cushing's syndrome, and cortical insufficiency is such as Addison's disease. Now, when I talked to Dr. Lerner on the phone for the very first time, he was worried about this. He was worried about Addison's disease because my symptoms were so in
Textbook,
exactly. So, but it ended up I didn't have it, but I had all the symptoms of it, okay? Cortisol is a steroid hormone, is synthesized from cholesterol. In the zona fasciculata layer of the adrenal cortex, adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, is released from the anterior pituitary. It increases the LDL receptors and increases the activity of cholesterol desmolase, which converts cholesterol to pregnenolone and is rate-limiting steps of cortisol synthesis. It's an inactive form of the majority of glucocorticoid circulus is an inactive form bound to either cortisoid binding CBG or album 2. Now, the organs involved in this are the nervous system, the immune system, cardiovascular, respiratory, reproductive, musculoskeletal, and integumentary. The cortisol has many functions in the human body, such as mediating the stress response, regulating metabolism, and an inflammatory response and immune function. Now, this wasn't working, and I had all that inflammation, so you can just imagine what my body was fighting.
the doctor was surprised that she wasn't bedridden. She's never been one. She's always been an early riser, but the past couple of years, she couldn't get out of bed until 11:30, 12 o'clock, and she's like, "I'm dying. I can't do this. This is killing me." And it took everything she had to get up, get showered, come down and try to do something. I was scared. I really was. I thought, holy crap, my wife's going to be dead in a week. I mean, as bad as it got. In the morning I'd go up to check on her to make sure she was still alive. Like I said, it scared the hell out of me. Dr. Lerner is a godsend. I can't tell you how many doctors we went and saw that said, "Oh, just take this. Oh, just take that." Right now she is off all of her pain medicines.
I've been off since probably June or July.
June or July. She's off of everything. She was on OxyContin for 30 years.
Pain patches.
Pain patches.
Pain creams.
You name it, we tried it. Since they got the inflammation controlled, they did a, I call it the purge diet. And
It's detox.
detox, yeah. And got her whole system cleaned out. You could actually see the improvements day to day with her. I mean, it
It was
just
night and day.
totally amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely amazing. I'm sitting on the couch, and it's 6:30 in the morning, and she comes walking down the steps, all showered, ready to go, hair done, and I'm like, holy crap! You know, I checked the time, and I was like, wow. Had to double check because I thought maybe the clock was wrong.
So, the thing is that the pain was so bad just getting out of bed. My feet were the worst. The pain in my feet, I can't even explain. I couldn't walk. So, I'm going to explain to you now the ins and outs, maybe a little bit about the diet. I have been in contact with Dr. Lerner, and he knows I'm going to be posting these recipes. Now, if you sign up with Dr. Lerner, you also get a dietitian. You talk to her every week, or if you need it more, it's for like, don't quote me, but I think it's 6 weeks for one fee. So you talk to her as much as you want, as little as you want, whatever you need from her. Mm-hmm. She is fantastic. Her name is Adrienne, and she helped me so much because I don't like protein shakes, and I wasn't getting enough protein because I was only eating 1 meal a day. My stomach hurt so bad I couldn't eat. We tried everything with the protein shakes, and I couldn't do them. So, but she gave me a lot of things to do in the meantime to help that. So my last one is called suboptimal estrogen metabolism. Now, when it's low, it just disrupts your whole body. The estrogen, you're tired, achy, all that, okay? So that is what was wrong with me. So now what they do is they tell you what you're going to be taking, how you take it. They send us, every time you order the supplements, and I have to say, you put in an order that day and they're out the next day, or even that day. But they'll send you a paper like this. It's full. Normally this isn't here. This is a full page, and it tells you when and how many to take of the supplements. So the diet, I don't want to say diet because it's just a way of changing the way you live and eat. That's what it's a change of lifestyle. Let's just say that. It's not a diet. You guys can eat what you want, but if you veer off of what I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel it, and I will explain that. So now he's giving me all of these. He's giving me my supplements. With the supplements came my diet information, recipes, all kinds of stuff. So I'm actually going to put all of this stuff on the vlog for you guys, and I'm going to give you their instructions, their things. Okay, so what happens is, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm trying to put it in perspective. So what happens is that Adrienne will talk to you about your foods and your fruits and things like that. Now, if you're like pre-diabetic, you're going to have to follow exactly the fruits you should eat and not eat, because a lot of fruits are very high in sugar, and your body cannot process that sugar because it's fighting everything else. So what they recommended for me was raspberries, kiwi, blackberry, and strawberries, because those are the lowest in sugar for what you get. Now they have all the fruit you can think of on here and how many servings, okay? So for anyone that is pre-diabetic or diabetic, you would do 15 grams or less, okay? So for example, the kiwi, 1 medium is 3.4. The blackberries, 1 cup is 3.5, and the strawberries, 1 cup is 3.8. And and raspberries, 1 cup is 3.0. So what you would do is just do whatever things you want to eat and add up your points, and that'll tell you. So throughout the day you can eat your fruit, or you can eat your fruit all at one time, run through it and things like that. So how to start the detox? Good question, guys. So they give you a vegetable and good fat paper. Now, it will tell you what days you can do what on, okay? So most of it you can eat every day of the diet. There's only a few that we're going to take out that's going to help with the detox. We will reintroduce them when we're done with the detox. And when we get to reintroduction, I'll explain all that to you. It's a little complicated, but we'll get through it. So this is, like I said, it's vegetables and good fats. And for example, peppers, you can do on days 1 through 14 only. So for the first 2 weeks of the detox diet, you can do peppers and tomatoes. Now good fats, grass-fed butter are on days 1 through 7 only, okay? And pasteurized eggs are only days 1 through 14 only. Now, I used ghee on all of my stuff, and it tastes delicious. I'll get you the name of it and where I got it and everything. And I use that instead of butter. I cut out all milk products, all sugar, all butter, all carbohydrates. I know it sounds hard, but believe me, with these recipes, it was not hard. In fact, I was craving the recipes. Like I would get to like lunch and I'm like, oh my God, I really, really want these Asian lettuce wraps. I've eaten these.
They are excellent.
They are. I'm telling you, you guys, don't poo-poo the recipes because they are delicious.
Eating the recipes along with her, I dropped 8 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you're not. And he's eating cookies with it too.
I got cookies and chips because I'm that kind of guy.
I cut out everything for at least May, June, July, August, I don't remember. 7 months. December I ate a few cookies at Christmas and I'm regretting it, believe me.
I drink my Coca-Cola all day.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got all the sugars, all the crap that, you know, I normally eat. But just eating this stuff, I mean, like I said, I lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks.
Well, my first 4 weeks, I lost 17 pounds. The first 4 weeks. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything. In fact, I wasn't craving any sugar. I used to drink probably 6 Diet Cokes a day. I stopped cold turkey. And they say just to drink water. Now, I'm going to explain a little something that happened to me. And I just want to be straight up with you guys on what really happened during the first couple weeks. Everything has to be organic, and I mean everything, down to your olive oil has to be organic, okay? Every vegetable. There are great frozen vegetables out there from Heinen's, if you have a Heinen's, all organic, and they're delicious, really, really delicious. Now, I made some vegetable beef soup, and it's in the detox. You'll get the recipe. And that wasn't their recipe. That's just my recipe. I could not find organic V8. That's the only thing in it that was not organic. And sometimes you're just going to have to do it to get the flavor that you want. But if you can get organic, that's what you have to do. I got organic canned tomatoes from Costco, really cheap. Organic beef and chicken broth or stock from Costco. So, you know, kind of check that stuff out. So what you're going to be doing is getting, like I said, all organic, grass-fed, no antibiotic meat. And go ahead, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. And so you know, it does get a little pricey, but you get a lot of meals out of one recipe, and you can freeze all of these recipes. So make a big pot of whatever you're making and freeze it. That way, when you are saying, oh my God, I'm hungry and I don't have anything to eat, pull something out of the freezer. Don't eat the junk. You will always have something in the freezer, or make sure.
Junk's mine.
Yeah, make sure you have fruit or some vegetables that you like to eat. I'd take mini cucumbers and I would cut them and put salt on them. Now, you might have to watch your salt intake. I had the opposite happen. I was drinking so much water that all the salt went out of my body, and I started having extreme kidney pain. I called Dr. Lerner and I'm like, look, I know it's not you know, like back pain, it's definitely kidney pain. Because I had a kidney stone, I had many kidney stones before. And it felt like that. So he put me onto this Ultima electrolyte mix, okay? Now, you're not supposed to have any artificial sweeteners or sugar or anything like that, but I will tell you this has really nothing in it. And he made me start drinking this because it would put the electrolytes into my body, replenish. Also, he made me eat a ton of salt on food and avocados. Lots of avocado. Jack would scramble me up an egg in the ghee, put salt and pepper on it. He'd cut up avocados next to it, fresh sweet onion and fresh tomatoes. And that was an amazing breakfast. And then I would drink this. I have not stopped drinking this even though my kidneys feel better. I just find that I can drink a lot more, and it doesn't seem to be bothering the weight loss at all. Now, I'm not sure about you, if this would disrupt something in your body, talk to them about it. I just want to let you know, my favorite is the lemon. Blueberries, okay, or blue raspberry. Grape, I'm not thrilled about, and I love grape anything, so that'll tell you something. So, I think he recommends 80 ounces of water a day.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, but I think that's it. But I've been doing like 120. I've always been a big drinker of water and flavored waters and things like that. So before I started the Diet Coke thing, then that kind of took over. But so this is what they're telling you to avoid altogether, and I'm just going to prepare you ahead of time. It says artificial sweeteners. Stevia is acceptable, but sparingly. Fruit juice, fresh squeeze is acceptable 1 to 2 times a year on special occasions. I don't go by that. I drink fresh orange juice like 1 or 2 times a week. I just feel me personally, I need it. But then I watch my sugars throughout the rest of the day. Pasteurized dairy. Opt for unsweetened nut-based milks and yogurts, unsweetened coconut milk and yogurt. Please, I ask your team to consider organic, pastured, or raw dairy. You need to speak with your team about that. I started introducing back milk into my diet, and I had some milk the other day at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning. I could not breathe, you guys. I was in so much pain, so I cannot do the dairy. And I'm not even going to do it when you're off the detox. When you start reintroducing your foods, you do it for 3 days, at least 2 to 3 times a day. So say you're going to reintroduce your tomato, you're going to eat that 2 to 3 times a day for 3 days. And kind of write down your symptoms. They give you a list. I'll give you the list of the symptoms you're looking for. I cannot do the milk 2 or 3 times a day for three days. It killed me. I could not breathe. The second thing is soy or soy-based products, with the exception of organic fermented soy, but use sparingly. I can't do soy because of my thyroid.
So we use these coconut aminos.
It's like
It's just like soy
sauce. It tastes phenomenal, you guys. I get that at Walmart. And gluten. Gluten in the form of sprouted grains, not for the autoimmune, may be an exception that you can speak with your team about. However, gluten in general should be not be considered. Processed flour products. Instead, opt for coconut flour, almond flour, or casa flour. Okay? I didn't cook with any flour for me. I didn't even want to mess with that. But during this whole diet, now this will tell you how fulfilled I was with the food. We filmed at least 3 videos a day. That's why you kind of see me in the same thing all the time, because we do a ton of videos in one day. So we would do 3 videos in a day. If I made desserts or anything, I not once in all of those months, 7, 8 months, tasted any of it. Jack was my taster. I wasn't craving it, and I am a sweet fanatic. Candy especially. I love candy.
Yeah, I ate it and I took it over to the neighbors, so now I got fat neighbors.
So now I started the diet in May. It's now January 8th or 7th. And I have lost 41 pounds. And I feel fantastic. Now, like I said, I ate some not so good food for me during the holidays, and I keep telling Jack, I gotta get back on this organic diet. I am in so much pain, you guys. My hands hurt, they're all swollen. My whole body hurts. So starting Monday, this is Sunday, starting Monday, I'm going back on the detox diet. Not so much detox, but on the organic. My detox is over. I feel great with that. I introduced the foods that I wanted to introduce. Stuff I don't eat, I didn't even bother with. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be giving you tons of detox recipes, and we'll kind of walk you through everything. If you have questions, feel free to either email us or comment in our YouTube section, and I will either call Dr. Lerner for you to get the answer, or I might know the answer. I could call Adrian. So if you're feeling the way I was feeling, I would give this a try for a good 3 months, 4 months. If you're just doing detox and you're not doing the supplements, I probably would do it for about 4 months. I think I really started feeling really, really, really good probably the 4th month in.
September.
Yeah, I started feeling good, don't get me wrong. I felt wonderful throughout.
I mean, her energy levels, like I said, went from getting out of bed at noon, dragging herself out of bed, to, I roll out of bed at 6:30. She's already out.
I felt much better. And now, since I kind of cheated during Christmas, I'm having a hard time getting up. I'm not getting up till like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm just feeling a little bit out of it. I had been sick since December 2nd. We got so sick in this house, and I'm still getting over it. I cannot get rid of it.
It's been a month, and it's kicked our butts big time.
I was so sick, you guys. So I'm just kind of getting back into feeling a little bit better and able to start getting back on track. So I just wanted to kind of fill you in. We're going to start this on Monday. What's the date tomorrow, Jack, please?
Oh, jeez. The 9th.
Monday, January 9th is going to be our day to start, okay? Every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday will be a new recipe. I will give you the first day I'll give you breakfast, then the next one I'll give you lunch, and the next one I'll give you dinner, and we'll do that all the way through, okay? So you might want to just collect all the recipes, or you can get the recipes and go get your stuff and make them, and then you'll have them for a week. What I did was each recipe is about between 4 and 6 servings. Now, I don't go by the servings. I go by how hungry I am. If I'm a little bit hungrier one day, I'll do one more piece of, the lettuce wraps, I'll do an extra romaine with a little bit more meat. Doesn't matter. If you're hungry, eat, okay? But if you're hungry, eat vegetables and good things. So, I hope you guys follow along our journey. I'm still doing it, so I'll be doing it along with you. I will say that some of the recipes, like I said, I did not do. I will give you at the end of the program for you to try. I just won't make them because nobody here will eat them. They'll go to waste, and it's all organic. It's very expensive, so I'm not going to do that. But if you have a question about how to make something, let us know. I can walk you through it. The recipes are very easy, okay? So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.